It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
I'm Pete Buttigieg, and you might recognize me from Fox News.
The woman who courageously outed Kamala Harris as Indian.
We are the party of real freedom.
Project 1825. I'm sorry.
You ever seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time?
Project 1925. Oh, I'm sorry.
You can pry this wedding band from my cold, dead, gay hands.
They're trying to suppress our vote. Boo.
Is I'm still younger than Donald Trump.
Donald Trump? Bro, we broke up with you for a reason.
It's the honor of my life to accept your nomination for Vice President.
We love a dad in plaid.
Other states were banning books from their schools. We were banishing hunger from ours.
Joe
Kamala Harris. Party with
The next president of the United States. But I think we owe it to the American people to tell them exactly what she'd do as president before we ask them for their votes. So this is the part, clip and save it and send it to your undecided relatives so they know. If you're a middle-class family or a family trying to get into the middle class, Kamala Harris is going to cut your taxes. If you're getting squeezed by prescription drug prices, Kamala Harris is going to take on Big Pharma. If you're hoping to buy a home, Kamala Harris is going to help make it more affordable. And no matter who you are, Kamala Harris is going to stand up and fight for your freedom to live the life that you want to lead. Because that's what we want for ourselves, and it's what we want for our neighbors. You know, you might not know it, but I haven't given a lot of big speeches like this. But I have given a lot of pep talks. So let me finish with this, team. It's the fourth quarter. We're down a field goal, but we're on offense and we've got the ball. We're driving down the field. And boy, do we have the right team. Kamala Harris is tough. Kamala Harris is experienced, and Kamala Harris is ready. Our job for everyone watching is to get in the trenches and do the blocking and tackling. 1 inch at a time, 1 yard at a time, 1 phone call at a time, 1 door knock at a time, 1 $5 donation at a time. Look, we got 76 days. That's nothing. There'll be time to sleep when you're dead. We're going to leave it on the field. I'm letting you in.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
All right. I believe everything's on. And let me know if you guys can hear me. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Get some thumbs up. Can I get some thumbs ups in the chat? Can I get some drums and doves? No. Not that. Hey, look at it. We're starting off with a super chat from, was that Susan McIntosh? Thank you so much, Susan, for that super chat. Starting right off the bat here. But before I scroll down, I don't want to lose the very beginning because sometimes it'll disappear. I just want to say a quick hi to Roxanne Arfield, who looks like was first one in the chat again. So good morning to Roxanne. We got and Teresa number 2. Hello, Teresa. Maud Day in there. Maud says hello, Roxanne and Teresa. What a night. Heavy crush on Jeffries this morning. Again, laughing out loud. Hakeem Jeffries was great. There was so many great. Just Democratic stars last night, you know. And yeah, before I get to that, I just want to say good morning. I'm kind of waking up a little groggy. It's 9:12 a.m. here in the Pacific time zone in Las Vegas. I hope wherever you guys are at that you're doing well and everyone is bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to go. But yeah, man, it was a great night. I feel like this is crooked. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. But last night, another great night at the DNC, and this is what it all led to. Basically, is America meets Coach Walz. You know, it was his night. You know, he closed it out with his speech there, and so that's what that was about. But it was really great. You know, great performances, great speeches, very moving. I got to tell you, man, I don't know if it's just when you get old and you don't have as much testosterone as you used to have, but I was crying. When his kid was saying, that's my dad, I was fucking crying, man. You know, I mean, what's up? What's up with that? There was just just some moving moments there. And let me see if I can shrink that back down a little bit or something. I don't know. Okay. I guess we'll just leave that there. As the decorations for today. All right. Oh, wow. Oof. So, but yeah, I've been watching the DNC. I imagine most of us have been watching it. I couldn't stop watching it. I mean, like last night, I was going to go out driving. I didn't drive the night before because I was, as you guys, if you remember, I was a little under the weather. I still have a little bit left over, hangover, but I am feeling a lot better. And so last night I was going to go out driving, and then it was like then Oprah came on or whatever. I mean, it was just amazing. I couldn't leave. I was like, no, I got to watch this. I got to watch this, and then it was almost the end, and I was like, well, I might as well stay for Walls now. And then I did end up going out and to drive, and I took one passenger, and it was really dead out for some reason. I mean, it didn't look dead, but for some reason I wasn't getting any rides. I mean, I literally was driving around and usually that my Uber app just rides just come in, and so I after driving around for like 10 minutes without getting a ride, I kind of took that as a sign, like maybe I shouldn't be driving, maybe I should take another night off, and so I just bought a thing of I treated myself to one of those things of ice cream, like a Haagen-Dazs. It's like this, whatever size this is. Wait, where am I? Wait, whatever size container that is, those ones. And I ate some chocolate chip cookies and cream or something like that, and I regretted it. I should not have. I don't need to be eating that kind of shit. But anyhow, so I don't know. I didn't really drive too much. I did one ride last night, and it was just so dead. I was like, I'm not gonna hang out. I'm just gonna go home. So I came back home. But I was watching the DNC, and it was really moving and funny. There was funny parts to it. There was you had John Legend and Sheila E. doing a Prince song. I mean, it was pretty awesome. Anyhow, just to get back to, I just want to say hello to everybody. Fancy's here. Good to see Fancy. Let's see. Who else we got? You guys going back and forth there, saying hello to everybody. And hugs to all, says Teresa. Susan McIntosh is here. Good. Oh, yeah. Susan McIntosh gave us a $2 super chat. And just want to say, once again, thanks so much for that. We got Carrie C. Carrie C's in the chat. Good to see Carrie. Thanks for being here. William's here. William says, hey, TJ and everybody. Good to see William. Thanks for being here. Alvin Stube is in the chat. Good to see Alvin Stube. Tim Farrell, one of our resident Tims, is here. Tim says, hey, gang. Jolie's here. All right, Jolie. Jolie made it. Good to see Jolie. Thanks for being here. Always good to see Jolie. And Midas Kevin Anderson's in the chat, in the driver's lounge. Thank you for being here. And I guess I don't need to be like sitting up so much. I'm gonna sit back a little bit and relax. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I don't know. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Yeah, there's that. I'm just now scrolling to the super sticker by Susan. Thanks again for supporting the show. Fancy says hello to Jolie, Kevin, and all. I'm away from the keyboard. working but listening. Penny2 creates here. The positivity of this convention is wonderful. I know, it's just amazing. I haven't watched every single DNC since, in my life, but I've watched quite a few of them, and I got to say, this is the best one I've ever seen. I mean, usually they're just kind of dry and boring, the Obama one was kind of exciting, and then there were moments like when Obama gave that first speech, was it back when Kerry was running or whatever? And so there's been moments, but this has been just nonstop, like I just can't stop watching, and in a good way, not in a train wreck kind of way. Hey, Mr. Spock is here. Good to see you. Live long and prosper over here. As my fingers are just all spread out. Good to see Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock says, I might get 3 new layer chickens. My son is at the auction, I guess, and scoped them out. No, good for you on those layer chickens. And let's see, Michael Biandros is here. Good to see Michael. It says, how is it, TJ? Family, super fidelis, all honors, Joe. Now let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. As I fix my Folds of Honor hat. Let's see. Midas Kevin says, are you ready for the night of nights? See, now that's the thing. Tonight's the big night. It's going to be another night where I'm probably not going to drive. Maybe I should just drive in the afternoon, because I know I'm not going to want to miss tonight. If I've watched the first 3 nights, I'm sure as hell not going to want to miss tonight's show. Tonight is going to be Kamala Harris's night. And I just before I came out, I just saw something where I guess Pink is going to be performing. Now, I was really hoping for a Taylor Swift Beyonce duet type of a deal. And you never know, they might surprise. Because I was looking at the last night's, like the run up, or the schedule of speakers and stuff, and I didn't see Oprah on there, and all of a sudden Oprah showed up. So you never know. You never know. And I thought Oprah looked great when she walked out. The first thing I thought was, "Wow, she looks great," because I hadn't seen Oprah in a long time, and I remember thinking, actually a few days ago or whatever, for some reason I was thinking about Oprah, and I was just thinking oh, she's always had weight issues, and she's probably blown up, and she's real heavy, and she doesn't want to show up anywhere. All of a sudden, here she goes, and she's all kind of svelte looking, and the woman's almost 70 years old, or she's like 70, and I know they can do great things with makeup and whatever, but I thought she looked great. Good old Oprah. The woman who brought us Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. Yeah. But anyhow, I like Oprah. Regardless, I guess. But she was a bit pitchy on her Kamala. Bit off key there. Hey, Paul Sharkey Mannion's here from across the pond. Thanks, Paul Sharkey Mannion, for being here. Says, there, TJ. TJ. The truckers, top of the morning to you. That's the Irish coming to me. Hope you all well in the truckers lounge. I think we're doing all right. Thanks for being here. Mod Day says, laughing out Susan, go back even further. Project Ooga Ooga, Caveman Rock. Oh yeah, Susan McIntosh. I love that they talked about Project 1725. Yeah, that was what's his face going? Project 1725. 1925. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Yeah, MJ Daniels here. Good to see MJ. don't know if I skipped some or what. Michael Vigandro says, anyone see Mike Pillow shaved, looking exactly like Dodson trying to sneak the dinosaur DNA off the island? I have not seen him. He shaved off his stash? I don't think I've seen that. Teresa says, same here, TJ. I cried when Tim Wall's son said that's my dad. And the son cried, got me. Yeah. There were a couple other moments I think I was tearing up, you know. I'm like, what's happening to me? Trucker John doesn't cry. Maud Day says, yes, Michael, and the two young men that roasted him, he was looking just like he just did an 8-ball all frenzied. Okay, well, I must have skipped something. Now, what was Michael talking about? Oh, about Mike. Oh, yeah. Okay, I read that. I even read that. Okay, yeah, talking about Mike Pillow. Yeah, I didn't see any of that, so I don't know. I did see a few days ago or a week ago. I don't know what it was. I guess a few days ago. David Pakman had him on. It was like he had him. He had this guy, this like voting machine expert guy or whatever, and Mike Pillow, and so basically the expert shot down everything that Mike Pillow alleges, and Mike Lindell, Mike Pillow, whatever. Of course, he's just such a moron that he can't understand anything. You know, he's still trying that shit. Just they don't stop. No matter how many times they get proven wrong, and they still fucking, you know, they won't stop. Mr. Spock says $20 container. Then I don't know what that's about. I guess maybe I skipped something. I don't know what that's about. $20 container. Susan McIntyre, I just ordered pizza. A big YouTube day. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, get some pizza. Is it starting already? I know it's not. I usually don't start washing until, I guess, like 6 o'clock my time, maybe. I don't know. Midas Kevin Anderson says, "Oh, did you see Adam's show? Hey, Michael, can I talk to you later? Cool. All right, you guys. Yeah, the driver's lounge is cool. You guys can talk amongst yourselves and plan your own little get-togethers. That's fine." Mr. Spock, good ice cream doesn't have to be expensive. It's a scam. Just saying. I didn't. Are you talking about $25? No, I went to a convenience store and I paid $7. If I had gone to Albertsons, it probably would have been, I don't know, $3 or $5. I don't even know. But I just went to the convenience store down the corner. I don't know what country you're living in. It's not $20. I guess you're in Canada. Maybe it is $25 in Canada. It was $7. It was $6.99 at the convenience store, which always jacks their prices up a little bit. I'm sure if I had gone down to Albertsons, I think everything was closed by then. It was like after 10 o'clock. So I went to the convenience store. It's convenient. I would not pay $25 for a little thing of ice cream. I don't know. Whatever, dude. Let's see. Teresa says that it sounds good. Yeah, now I'm going to get pizza today. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a pizza, and I'm probably just going to have some wild cherry Pepsi and hunker down and watch the DNC. Paul Sharkey Mania says it's all very inspiring. What you got, kids sick, Hollow Hulk. Is that all you got? Pathetic Megaloons. Yeah, the RNC was such a snooze fest. I mean, literally, people were falling asleep in the RNC where they were holding it, and where Kamala Harris the other night. Here I go. Oh boy, I haven't sneezed in 2 days. Now all of a sudden I'm sneezing again. Where 2 nights ago Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were at the very same arena where they held the RNC, and they packed it, to the rafters. And the RNC couldn't even fill that when they had the RNC there. And yet, it's still going to be a close election. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be a blowout. And I hope, at least in the popular vote, it should be a blowout. But why it's even close, or why we're even worrying about it, I don't. It shouldn't even be close. You know what I mean? But I guess in one sense I kind of get it, because I mean, the Republicans know they have a shitty candidate, but they don't like Democrats, a lot of them, even though we've seen a lot of crossover. We've been seeing a lot of Republicans coming over because they just can't even stomach or stomach the idea of another Trump presidency. But it shouldn't be close. It should not even be close. But like we say, we gotta act like we're behind, and we might be behind. I don't know if we can trust all the polling, but we just got to make sure we vote. And we vote for Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and we send the orange turd packing to prison, You know what I mean? Teresa says, will not be on YouTube on Sunday, having accompanied my brother-in-law. He comes here 4 times a year to visit my husband. His brother, very nice of him. Oh, it's a nice visit. Enjoy the visit. Mr. Spock says, just got a scam call. I called them out early. Don't waste enough of their time. Called back and put on record. Susan McIntosh, I think more unity than ever, even than 2008. I agree. Because I think most of us have seen. I mean, we do not want Donald Trump. We got burned once. We're not going to get burned again. You know what I mean? I mean, for Trump to win in 2016, to me, that was I did not see that coming. I thought Hillary had it in the bag. And I think we're all determined. We're not letting that happen again. We're not only we're not going back, but we won't be fooled again. That's sort of my George W. Bush thing. We won't be fooled again. Steve, hey, Steve's here. Good to see Steve. Steve says, I was just listening, but Mr. Spock just made me burst out laughing. You reminded me I got ice cream in the fridge. I forgot. Go get you some. Roxanne Armfield says, good morning. Finally. No, I'm just kidding. I guess I'm still. I have a little bit more of this cold left than I thought. So excuse me if I have to wipe my nose every now and then. Minus Kevin Anderson says, I wanted Beyonce to come out and do Freedom. Yeah, I know. That's what I want to do. Maybe and tonight would be the night to do that. But I'm hoping for a surprise guest appearance by Beyonce. And I really think it'd be great if Taylor Swift was there. Just to get all the Swifties involved, And plus I like Taylor Swift. But yeah, if Beyonce could come out and do Freedom, and I don't know why, the three ladies, because I just saw the thing that Pink's going to be there. Pink's pretty awesome too. So I mean, they could have Pink and Beyonce and Taylor Swift. Could you imagine if those three were all on a stage together at the DNC? My God, that would be amazing. That'd be amazing. Paul Sharkey Manning says, you must keep the pressure on Trumpists just enough to keep them perplexed. You must keep it real and to the facts. Don't get ahead of ourselves. Yeah, just come at them with the facts. Midas Kevin Anderson says, live from Saturday night, it's Kenan Thompson. Yeah, I like the Kenan Thompson deal when he was doing parts of the 2025. Hey, Felix the Cat's here. It was an amazing night. Good to see Felix the Cat. Felix the Cat comes in every now and then. Kind of like a cat, Just saunters in whenever they feel like it, and then just checks out. And you might see him again, you might not. William says, did anyone see Mike Lindell argue with a 12-year-old kid? I think the kid got the best of him. You can see it with Adam Mockler. I did not see that. No, I on the first day of, I guess it was the first day of the DNC, I saw Adam walking around. He's pretty cool. Whenever you look at him, I'm like thinking like he's such a young kid, but he's probably way more smarter than me. I have not been coughing or sneezing or did anything for probably since the last show. Now all of a sudden I can't stop coughing and sneezing and coughing and sneezing. Maybe I'm allergic to this microphone. I don't know. But I saw that he grabbed JoJo from Jersey on the first day. I thought that was pretty cool. He's just walking around. All of a sudden, JoJo from Jersey comes in, and he's like, hey, there's JoJo from Jersey. And he does this little interview with her. I thought that was pretty cool. But I haven't really seen him since. But I know he's been there the whole time. But I just haven't been watching that. But, yeah, that was pretty cool. And, of course, I'm jealous. I'm thinking, like, man, I wish Chucker John could be at the DNC walking around doing interviews. That would have been awesome. Jolie says that was great. William, Noah schooled him. So I guess the kid's name was Noah. I didn't see that, but maybe, I'm sure it's living on somewhere on the internet. Probably right here on good old YouTube. So maybe I'll come across it. Paul Sharkey Manning says, Mike Lumpy was out of his mind last night. Should have been thrown out on his ear. Effing git. No Tash. New hat, no brains. Mr. Spock, you and I just don't have the same sense of humor, apparently. That's all. That's all I got to say about that. Hey, Apple 707, but you're still welcome here. Apple 707 says, hey all. Well, hey all back at you. Good to see Apple 707. Coming on over here to the driver's lounge. Mad Mac. To the windows, to the walls. Good to see Mad Max, Slava Ukraini. There you go. Paul Sharkey Mannion says, great some cheddar cheese and that hot pepper sauce on top. Can't go wrong with that. It depends on what you're putting it on. I don't know. Okay, so Mr. Spock's going to break down the cost of ice cream and what a scam it is, and I don't really give a fuck. Roxanne says, Lindell is just a joke right now. Too bad he trashed his life for so little. Yeah, he's just, if he dies broke and penniless, he deserves it. At this point. Mad Max says, I was watching Adam Mockler live yesterday. Sorry for the coughing. like I said, I have not been coughing hardly at all, and now all of a sudden I can't stop coughing. Maybe it's just I'm sitting in this chair. I don't know. And now all of a sudden I've got snot in my nose, and yes, I use toilet paper to blow my nose. Okay, I don't want any comments about that either. Here, let me move this out of the way. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about all this. Like I said, I've been feeling pretty good. I don't know what's going on all of a sudden with all this stuff, this nasty cold stuff. Anyhow, Mad Max says, I was watching Adam Mockler live yesterday as he walked around DNC crowd, and his interview with Lumpy Lindell and Aaron, the 12-year-old kid, so I don't know who Aaron. There's Aaron and there's Noah. I don't know, who is very precious, by the way. Yeah, I didn't see any of that, but hopefully I'll come across it. It sounds pretty interesting. Tim Farrell says, if Gus Walls did not warm your heart, you might be a maggot. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Paul Sharky Mania says, sure it's not hay fever. No, I don't even know what hay fever is. Let's see. Hey, Nick Rich is here. Good to see 56 Nick Rich. Like number 39. I haven't seen Nick in a while. He sort of ditched us on the last show. So thanks for being here, Nick. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out in the driver's lounge. Mad Max says, whenever Felix gets in a fix, he reaches into his bag of tricks. Oh, yeah. Felix the cat. Nick Rich says Noah, but spelled weirdly. I don't know. Minus Kevin Anderson says Noah served him. Mike is like, you have to do paper ballots, and he is like, yeah, whatever. Oh, I don't know. You talking about from the Pac-Man? Is that the Pac-Man? Now we're getting all these different interviews mixed up. So, was that the guy on the Pac-Man interview? Is that what the expert, the legal expert? I just didn't remember his name. I knew his name was. I mean, he was the legal expert guy or whatever. Let's see. Just skipping down a little bit. Mad Max says, yeah, I called him Aaron, but Jolie's correct. His name is Noah. Okay. Aaron, Noah, Moses, Jesus. I don't know. It all blends in, all these names. Nick Rich said, since I'm late, rolling the dice. Again, I'm not very good at emoji. Midas Kevin says, yeah, Little John did a Shots parody and Get Low parody. Made me laughing out loud. I didn't see that part. Hey, Nick Rich. Oh, there you go. That's what he means by rolling the dice. Okay, yeah. That's right, because it's a random thing of who gets the gift. And it was Tim Nelson, our other Tim. And so thank you, Nick, for gifting the membership. That's always fun, and it helps support the show. So thank you so much. Francis says, poor Trucker John. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've been feeling better, and now all of a sudden it's like it's just coming back or something. I don't know. It's weird. Robert Perez is here. Good to see Robert. Robert says, toilet paper can be a truck driver's best friend. I think it can be everybody's best friend. But anyhow, yeah, thanks, Robert, for being here. Good to see Robert in the driver's lounge. I'm going to skip that one. Fancy says, I'm taking a break. Jupiter Judy. Good to see Jupiter Judy in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. we've just been talking about the DNC, basically, and Mike Lindell and Adam Mockler and all that good stuff. James Williams here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to James. Thanks for dropping by. And let's see. Mad Max says, you get a pass because you're sick, TJ. Precocious means wise beyond years. You said he was my precious. I said someone was my precious? No, I never said that. I never said that anyone was my precious. Let's see. So James is here. James Williams saying hello to everybody. Hey, Doug G's here. Doug G's checking in. Good to see Doug. I haven't seen Doug in a while. Hello to Doug G. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. As I try to, I don't know, maneuver this stupid cold. And really, I thought I was over it. I thought I was completely over it until just now, until I started doing the show, and then all of a sudden these symptoms came back. I haven't been coughing or sneezing or having to blow my nose since the last show, I think. I don't know. Weird. It's really weird stuff goes on here. Let's see. Nick Rich says, Mary Trump Media has some interesting coverage of the DNC convention. That's right. Mary Trump's down there. I mean, they're all down there. Of course, in the morning, a lot of you guys watch Stephanie Miller. I watched the last in and out for the last hour of the show, and she's there and had some interesting guests on. It seems like it'd be really fun to be able to cover that. Whether you're like Stephanie, she's got her little thing set up and people come to her, or whether you're like Adam Mockler and you're walking around, you got your microphone. Either way, I think it would be fun to cover that event. Anyhow, Menace Kevin says, TJ, when they said Georgia, how do you vote? Little John stood up like we all voting for Cam or Kamala. See, when I see Cam, it looks like Cam to me. Kamala. To the window, to the walls, laughing out loud. Yeah, I missed that part. The only part I saw was, I think, I just saw when they did California and Minnesota. And so Minnesota was like Amy Klobuchar, which I don't really like her, or whatever the fuck her name is. Ever since I heard about her eating salad with a comb or whatever, I just don't like her. And I don't like how she talks with like crooked mouth like this. I know I'm judgmental. But anyhow, so yeah, I saw that, and then I saw California, and then Gavin Newsom just, he was good, very slick, very, very, very professional. But yeah, no, there was no fancy, rappers or anything. So I haven't watched a lot. I haven't watched everything. Like you guys, apparently you guys are watching a lot more than I am. But I missed that part with Little John and everything. Let's see. Pamela's here. Pamela says hello to everybody. I see Chuck John is still hacking. Yeah, I thought, like I said, I haven't really been coughing or anything, and now all of a sudden I'm back at it again. So I don't know. It's weird. Fancy says, I've been watching Jen in the morning. She comes on early. Who's Jen in the morning? I don't even know who that is. Jen Psaki? Or whatever her name is. Everyone is saying hello to everybody. All right, guys. So what else has been going on? Anything else going on? I think the DNC has been really interesting. Yeah, and it has been, like I think Jolie said, it's electrifying. This has been kind of like, once you start watching it, you can't stop, And it's been great after guest after great guest. Like the other night, Bill Clinton was on, and I thought, hey, when I saw him, I thought, God, Bill looks really good, and he's like 78. But you can see that he was, he's lost a step, right? You can see he's not the smooth talker he used to be. He's not the great orator. He was a pretty good, at speechifying in his day, and you can see he's lost a step. And to me, it just kind of is another example of maybe once you get around 78 or 79 or 80, and it's not saying anything against Bill, but I think it just shows how that is probably too old to be the president. Now, we had Joe Biden, of course, who's like, he's 82 now or something, right? And he's our president. He's going to finish out his term, and he's going to continue to do a great job. But I've always said that, the kind of the wheelhouse of, I think, of age and experience and wisdom that a person can have to be the president of the United States, I think it's really in your 50s and your 60s. And so, we saw Bill, he's kind of lost a little bit. We see Trump totally losing it. I mean, he's always been, even back in 2016 and 2015, he was always bumbling and stumbling and his words. But that's just because he's an idiot to begin with. That's just because he's a moron to begin with. But now we're seeing him really just fade. So you want to talk about who's fit and unfit. I mean, put Kamala up against Turd Breath, up against Trump. I mean, it's not even close. Paul Sharkey says, well, my lovelies, keep the faith and keep calm. Got to go look after yourself. All right, Paul, thanks for coming by. I do appreciate you. Thanks for coming in, and hopefully you gave me a thumbs up. I'm sure you did. And thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. Andrew Petrie's here. Andrew says, good morning, beautiful people. Trucker John, and saying hi to Fancy and Roxanne and Teresa and everybody else, Mad Mac and Pamela, Mr. Spock, Jolie. Nicholas says, young, middle-aged, or old. I'm old. But if you're in your 60s, you'd be, I think, your prime age to be a president. I think 50s and 60s is the prime. Your prime to be president. Once you start getting your late 70s, yeah, probably not so much. Mad Max says, dump that coffee and drink some tea. Okay, I don't really appreciate people telling me what to do, so I'm just going to skip that. I already had orange juice this morning. Anyhow, but and how do you know I don't have tea in here? Did I say what I had? Did I even say that I'm drinking coffee? This could be tea. You don't know. Nick Rich, by the way, I got the shingles vax. Oh, good. Good for you, Nick. Glad you got that. Hey, Jose Barrios is here. Good to see Jose. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Says, do you think that the Harris campaign should focus less on a woman's right to choose, since it's already a given for Democrats, and focus more on the economy and border to draw votes away from Trump? I don't know. They seem to be kind of talking about everything pretty equally. I think so. I don't think they are focusing on rights to choose, women's right to choose. Although, I mean, yeah, they do. They bring it up. They're not going to, not bring it up. I think they're doing a pretty good job of talking about all the issues, and they are talking about the border, and they are talking about the economy. I think they're doing a really good job with talking about the important issues that are important to people. They kind of save the right to choose as kind of that last thing, that last little haymaker that they throw in. Bonnie says, could be vodka. Yeah, it could be vodka. You don't know. I might be just sipping vodka. If it was vodka, I would probably go, like, after I drank, I'd probably go like, or something. I don't know. MJ says they can do both. Yeah, I think they can do all three, or they're pretty good. I think they've been pretty good with the messaging. That's the one thing that they've got down, I think, in this campaign is some good messaging. For sure. Susan McIntosh says, I think they should just pound away on Trump killing the border bill. And also now they can add, another kind of, well, not that the border bill, killing the border bill was a Logan Act thing, but now that, with him meeting with Netanyahu and telling Netanyahu not to have a ceasefire because that would hurt Trump and it was going to help the Democrats and all that kind of stuff. That's another issue they could pound on. Just showing how Trump just interferes with everything and and totally puts himself above everything, above the people. Trump doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. Julie says, Joe John saying, you're not the boss of me. Yeah. Yeah, well, I get tired of it. Everyone telling me, drink this, drink that. I'm going to drink my vodka. Let me drink my vodka to myself here. James Williams, shingles suck. Hope the symptoms are mild and go away quickly. Nick Rich, he got the vaccine. I don't think he had shingles. Anyhow, Steven Sayre says, still a lot of people don't know about Trump. How could he not know about Trump at this point? But that's true. I mean, we do. You and me, in the chat here, we do pay attention to this stuff a lot more than probably 90% of the people or whatever, So that's probably true. Pamela says, Trucker John, you're really saying your mind, your own damn business, right? See, Tim Walz is rubbing off on me. But no, I know. Maybe I'm a little grumpy. I know people are just trying to be nice and offer their advice. Yeah, that kind of rhymed. Maybe I'm a little grumpy, so I apologize if I'm being grumpy. Nick Rich says, James Williams, I got the vaccine, not the virus. Oh yeah, that's kind of what I just said. MJ Daniel said, Democrats know what they are doing and get shit done. Well, yeah, especially when they're in office. I think the problem they've had is campaigning over the years, and getting the right message out, and getting their message out effectively. But once they get in, they're the ones that clean everything up. Yeah, absolutely. We're always cleaning up after the goddamn Republicans. And who was it? Was it Clinton? I'm getting the speeches mixed up. Who said, I checked this 3 times to make sure. I can't remember. I don't think it was Walz. I think it might have been Clinton or who. You guys can correct me. I'll try not to bite your head off. Who said, he said, I checked this 3 times to make sure, and I fact checked it. And then he brought up how over, I forget what year it was, or maybe it's all-time history, I don't know, but about all the job creations, it was like 51 million jobs. And then he goes, and guess what the score was? It was like 50 million by the Democrats and 1 million by the Republicans. And I haven't really looked that up to fact check it. But I don't think that he would say that if it wasn't true, because he made sure to say that he fact checked it, and I don't think he would say something like that if it wasn't true, because it would be easy to find out if it was true or not. But just imagine if that's true. Okay, so and I've known, just thinking back about how Reagan, the Reagan era, and then with H.W. Bush, they didn't do much for jobs. We had high unemployment, and how Bill Clinton got in and had a big job boom, cleaned up after Reagan and Bush. And then W got in, and we were just siphoning jobs, especially the last couple of years of his second term, where we were losing jobs at 300,000 or 400,000 every month, just siphoning jobs out to overseas, and just losing jobs and losing industries. And then Barack Obama came in and had to clean his fucking mess up, and he created a lot of jobs over his time there, his 2 terms, millions of jobs, and then of course Trump comes in, fucks everything up, crashes the economy. We're losing jobs, unemployment's high, and then we see Biden comes in, and in just less than 4 years has created like 17 million jobs. So yeah, MJ Daniel, you're right. Democrats know what they're doing, and they get shit done. You're absolutely right. We create jobs. We bring back jobs that we thought we would never get back from overseas. That's what Joe Biden's been doing. So you're right, MJ and Daniel. Absolutely right. VT, Real Bill P, says there's some guy on YouTube that drinks his urine. That's disgusting. Why did I even read that? Robert Perez says, hey, Trucker John, I like your t-shirt. Thank you very much. I don't know if you can really see it, but it is Randy Rhodes. Teresa says, TJ, do not blame you. I also do not like being told what to do or eat. Trust me, I will not do that to anyone. But it's been well, yeah, and I probably bit someone's head off there. Whoever said whatever they said, and sometimes I do that. And I know people are just trying to be nice, and sometimes I could be a jerk. So that's just sometimes I'm a jerk. Nicholas says, a bit of a sore spot at the injection site. I was warned about it. So, yeah, I guess that happens. VT Real Bill P says, I stopped by to say hello. I've got to pick up some cat food for the cat ladies in my neighborhood. There you go. Andrew Petrie says, my buddy Dan Hurd on YouTube is a gold prospector, and he can't stand 2 words. You should. Okay, guys, I know you guys. I'm sorry. Midas Kevin says, TJ, if you want to rhyme, at least you're grumpy and not frumpy. Laughing my ass off. Jolie says, Mike Pillow getting schooled by 12-year-old Noah at the DNC, and there's a link to that. I'm definitely going to check that out. You know what? I think I'm just going to hit that link. But I want to save it for later. Okay, well now it'll be, I don't know what I've just done. I left the thing, and now I probably screwed everything up. I guess I'm okay. Teresa says, Mike Pillow is a weirdo and an idiot. Cannot stand him. I can't stand him either. I think you're right. He is a weirdo. But there's something wrong with that guy. I mean, something very, very wrong with that guy. Seriously wrong with that guy. James Williams says, sitting in the Peace Park beside the beautiful Bow River in Calgary, waiting for my wife to write her provincial licensing exams. It's a good day to be alive. All right. Sounds like you're having a good moment there. So good for you. Steve Sayers says, I'd rather watch reruns of Ink Master than any more political drama. I don't even know what Ink Master is. I guess that's a tattoo show, I'm guessing. Teresa says, my foolish and delusional sisters will still want Trump. I know, and you know what? There's lots of people like that that still want Trump. And I think about that. Like I have passengers, right, with Uber, and I talk. A lot of times I talk. Sometimes I don't even talk because I just sort of go by. I kind of go off of what the person, what the writer, if they feel like talking or if they don't feel like talking, and I can just sort of get a feel for it. And but anyhow, when I have conversations with people, because sometimes the rides can be 10, 15 minutes long or whatever, or even longer sometimes. And I can have a nice conversation with somebody, and where I feel like this is a really nice person or people, but then just the way the conversation is going, you kind of know that they are a Republican, and you kind of know that they're, not necessarily maggots, like in the sense of being a full-on maggot, but they certainly are Trump supporters, or they would vote for, or they're voting for Trump. Even if they don't say that, you just, you can kind of, you kind of know where they're at. And then it gets me to thinking, like, because like I say, I don't usually get political, so even though I can sense what they're at, where they're at, I don't really bring up a lot of things, but because I try to keep it neutral when I'm pretty much, unless someone really wants to talk politics. Because at one time someone started asking me political stuff, and I just go, "Oh, you want to go political? Oh, you want to talk politics?" He's like, "Yeah," and so I was like, "Okay," but for the most part, I don't. I like to keep it neutral, but my point was I was trying to get to is that sometimes these people are really nice people, and I think, if they were in my chat room and they were saying some of the stuff they were saying, I would probably call them out and say, fuck you, you fucking maggot, or whatever. I might go off on them a little bit more. But when they're in the back seat of my car, and I want to keep it neutral, but it's not just that. It's like I really feel like these are nice people, and they don't deserve to be called a fucking maggot or whatever necessarily, or you know what I mean. And so I know it's just kind of weird. Like, if you take all the political shit out of it, let's say out of the conversation or just out of the picture, there are so many people that are probably really nice, good people. But as soon as you bring in the thing that they support Trump, or even just the fact that they're a Republican, is like strike one. And then the fact that how much they support Trump, that even makes it worse. And it really, it really makes you just like not like a person, but otherwise you would like them. You know what I mean? I can't really explain it, I guess, but it's kind of frustrating because on the one hand, I guess you could say we should all just agree to disagree. But I don't really like that concept because politics is really everywhere. Politics really does affect our lives, especially when we see things like Roe being overturned, and we see abortion bans, and now we're seeing these red states wanting to make IVF illegal, for God's sakes. And we see the book banning, and we see all this stuff. So politics plays a big part in our lives. So on the one hand, it's like, yeah, you can see that people are nice and they have good intentions, or they seem like good people, but they're following a political party that really doesn't have, I think, our best interests at heart, and that's the Republican Party. I don't think they ever have at least within my lifetime. You know, the Republican Party has not had at least the working class, middle class, low income, people in poverty, poor people, hasn't had any of their interests at heart. So it's kind of like a dichotomy, I guess, right? It's kind of an issue with me. You know, it's like you see good people that seem really nice and genuine, but yet they follow a party that I detest. And they support a man, if you want to call him that I think is despicable in Donald Trump. And yet they, like Teresa's sisters, think he's a great guy. They really think he's a great guy. It's not just that they're willing to put up with stuff because they want their party to win. A lot of them actually think he's a great guy. And when I think of Donald Trump, I just, you know, it makes me a little sick, a little nauseous. I you know, because he's disgusting. It's a weird thing. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing. Like, it's not so. I guess it's not. I'm saying it's not so like cut and dried. You know, like people get their information, or they wherever they get it from. I don't know. I just feel like they're not seeing the whole picture. And they would say the same thing about me. They would just turn it around and say it about me. You know, like that I'm getting misinformation or something. I don't know, guys. It's a weird thing. And speaking of the devil, here's Mike H. Haven't seen Mike H today, so thanks for joining us. Our resident troll. Thank you very much, Mike H. Says that guy did a lot of drugs. I'm talking about Mike Pillow, yes. He was a fucking meth head, wasn't he? Was it meth or crack or whatever the fuck? But Mike H is here. Good to see you. Teresa says, many years back, I actually bought a Mike Pillow. I bought one also. I bought it in a store. I didn't order it. I think I needed a pillow. I was out on the road in my truck, and I think I was at like a CVS or something, and they had these Mike pillows. Before I knew he was a moron, trust me, if I knew, his pillows sucked just like him. Yeah, the pillow, I don't think even, yeah, I'm not sure. I just needed a pillow. And I'd heard about, I think I'd seen his ads. This was probably, like years and years ago. I don't remember. This is way before the 2016 campaign. It was way back. I don't know, my little thing seems to be kind of coming loose or something. Probably need more duct tape on this baby, on this bad boy. Anyhow, as I sip my vodka, I'm sorry for biting your head off about suggesting the tea and all that stuff. I can be a real a-hole too. Anyhow, let's see. James Williams says, I love that clip, Jolie. Imagine being steamrolled by a 12-year-old. I haven't watched it yet. I'll watch it afterwards. I guess. Is it a short clip? I guess I could watch it right now. But Midas Kevin says when his... I don't have the ability really to... it would be nice if I could just put it up on the screen and we could all watch it. But I don't really have the ability to do that. As of this moment. Let's see. Nick says, good day, Ock. Talking about Mike. Jesse Waters from Jesse Waters' mom questions for you. Are you a Democrat yet? Are you talking to Mike? He's not a Democrat. Midas Kevin says, when his friend pulled Adam back and said, it's cool, Mike used to be a real cool guy, I was like, what? Come again? Okay, well, I'll have to watch that. I'll watch that later. Rob4419 is here. Good to see Rob. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Says, hi, TJ and everyone. Hope all's good. I just read, and wow, so can relate. So many just don't get what Trump is and don't care. There's just a lot of, I don't know, misinformation. And like I say, a lot of people, they only see little bits and pieces, because we all live our lives. We've got busy lives. And I don't know, a lot of people just don't even pay attention. So they just think, oh, Trump's the Republican candidate. He's the nominee. And that's good enough for me, Rob 4419 says, Therese, so true, and they mimic him without knowing any facts. Mike H says, TJ, you're too hardcore. Am I? I'm too hardcore, really? Nick Rich, hard to take? I don't think I'm hardcore. Unless you're being tongue-in-cheek. Pamela says that Mike H, you are not listening to what TJ is saying. James Williams says, I don't buy the good people on both sides crap. You stand for decency and integrity, or you don't. Well, that's easy to say, and I think I've probably said things just like that, James. But like I said, as I've been Ubering, and I get into conversations with people, genuine conversations, and it's not always about politics, but I can tell that they're Republican. And I'm just thinking that these are really nice people, and I don't think they know. I don't think they pay enough attention to what's really going on, or if they do hear about things about Trump, they'll believe the lie, that it's all, that these are all like liberal media, lies or something. I don't know. I think it's a little more complex than we think, as far as I don't know if it's so cut. Like I said, I don't know if it's so cut and dried about you're good, you're bad. Like Democrats good, Republicans bad. Now again, I've never liked the Republican Party. I've always kind of detested it, even going back to Nixon when I was a little kid, when I was 12 or whatever. I was 8 when he was elected, I think, first time. I've never liked Nixon. I've never liked Reagan. I've never liked the Republican Party. I've been a lifelong Democrat. But my dad, and we weren't a real political family or talk about politics. So I don't even know for sure what party my parents were registered as. I don't know for sure, but I know later in life, I'm pretty sure he was Republican. Late in life, for sure. But going back to Nixon, and going back to the 60s, I know my parents liked the Kennedys. And they thought, like everyone just talked about JFK assassination and how horrible it was and how sad they were when that happened. And I think it wasn't just, I'm sure there are lots of Republicans that were sad about JFK being assassinated because it's a horrible thing. It wasn't like that. I think, I got the feeling that they were supporters of Kennedy, of JFK. And when Bobby Kennedy was assassinated, they were just as sad then too. And they thought the MLK assassination was awful. And I think when Hubert Humphrey got the nomination in 1968, my dad, I think, supported Humphrey, but I think it was only because Humphrey was from Minnesota and my dad was from Minnesota. I don't think it was a party thing. I think it was just a Minnesota thing. More. Because I'm pretty sure in 1972, in fact, I know my dad voted for Nixon in 1972 when Nixon was up for re-election. And my dad, I've told this story before, but my dad went to vote. When he came back, he had this little, it was a metal, those little pins, election pins, and it said Nixon now. And he came back from voting, and he goes, here, I got you something. And I looked at it, and it said Nixon now. And here I am. I think so in '72. I think I just turned 12 in October. So I'm a 12-year-old, and I hate Nixon. And because I had been watching the Watergate hearings, my parents never watched that shit. I would watch it, and I'm like, because I was telling him he's a fucking crook, you know. And so he gets reelected. My dad gives me the pin, Nixon now. And I was I just got so angry that my dad voted for Nixon. And in my room, I had a dartboard. Or actually, well, I had a dartboard, but I also had this like cork board on the wall. And I stuck that pin, I think, in the cork board. Or maybe I stuck it on the dartboard. I don't remember. But I grabbed a dart, and I went back to the other side of the room, and I wound up, and I didn't just throw it, you know how you throw darts like this? I went back, and I did a full wind-up, like I was Nolan Ryan. And I threw that dart as hard as I could, and I almost landed it like dead center of that fucking metal. It was a metal. It wasn't plastic or vinyl. It was a metal little pin that said Nixon now, and I fucking landed that dart through the metal and stuck it into either the corkboard or the dartboard. I forget which. And my dad just looked at me and he just goes, "Son, with that kind of anger, you go through life with that kind of anger, you're going to have a hard life," or something like that. And he just walked out. And I was just thinking, like, I don't give a fuck, man. I can't believe you voted for Nixon. So this is how far back my I guess, hatred for Republicans, or at least the Republican Party. I can't say hatred for Republicans because I think my dad was a fucking Republican. So I don't hate the people. I don't hate my dad. I love my dad. I don't hate the people. Most of my family are Republicans, probably. Or, to be more honest, most of my family don't even vote, probably. And by family, I'm talking about cousins and uncles and aunts and, you know, the whole extended family going out. A lot of them are probably Republican minded. They act like they support Republicans and Republican Party, but I bet you the majority of them don't even vote. They don't even vote. And if they are Republicans, I'm fine with that. But I don't hate them. I don't hate my family. So I can't say that if you're a Republican, I hate you. And if you're a Democrat, I love you. I can't say that. So I guess it just comes down to what they perceive and what information people get. I don't know. And Jolie says, I think prior to Trump, I could overlook someone's politics, but not now. I'm sorry, but if you can support someone as vile as Trump, there's something wrong at your very core as a human. I think it's just too easy for us to go there. To what you just said, Jolie, because and I'm not the most knowledgeable guy in this chat room, person in this chat room. But still, I mean, I watch Hal every day. I watch, the news. I watch, all this stuff. So I might be more knowledgeable on political things that are going on than maybe 90% of the people in the country. I don't know. I don't know how to put a number on it, but I just think so many people only get little bits and pieces, or if that. I think most people are just watching, reality TV shows or, games or whatever, playing games. I don't think people even pay attention. But they just hear just enough so they think that, they know who they're going to support. I don't know. I don't think. But I mean, I get the sentiment. If you support Trump, Because we know what a dirtbag, scumbag, piece of shit the scum is, that Trump is. But if my dad were alive today, he'd probably be supporting him, I guess. I don't know. All I know is that when my dad died in 2012, that I think he was supporting Mitt Romney at the time. Steve Sayre says, we have a daughter-in-law that still thinks Trump is the bee's knees. Rob4419, right? No such thing as good, bad, both sides. Decency is a human trait. Evil isn't. Mike H. crack. So that was Mike Lindell was a crack addict, apparently. Teresa says, my younger sister is actually worse. She claims she used to be liberal. Go figure. If she's telling the truth, she has a tendency to lie a lot. No wonder she likes Trump. Birds of a feather, I suppose. William says, I can't respect anyone who respects Trump. It definitely, as soon as you hear that someone supports Trump or likes Trump, it definitely is like, oh. Like you can be having a nice conversation with somebody and you think, hey, this is a nice person. And then as soon as they, you figure out that they're a Trump supporter, you're just like, oh, God. What a letdown. What a fucking letdown, you know? Steve Sayre says, pillows aren't bad. Bought a pair like 10 years ago. I'm still using mine. No nightmares. Wow, a 10-year pillow. That's pretty good. Rob4419, I agree with Jolie. Since Trump people I've known have gone so nasty that they'll actually harm others without any remorse. Teresa says, William, same here. Sadly, I disrespect my two sisters because of supporting Trump. I did not disrespect them before Trump. Yeah. Hey, here's Darcy. Darcy's in the lounge, driver's lounge. Thanks for being here, Darcy. Good to see you. Darcy says they are in a cult from decade of hearing crap on fixed so-called news, con radio, content creators talking to MAGA can clearly see they do not know most of what the entire rest of the world sees. They are in that bubble, the Fox News bubble, the right-wing radio network bubble of Rush Limbaugh, may he burn in hell, and all that. And now the content, like the content creators like Alex Jones, yeah, absolutely. William says, Teresa, I don't hate those people, but they may hate me. Jolie says, Trucker John, the clip is just the funniest part. It's a YouTube short created by Midas Touch, so it's 30 seconds. Should I watch it now? I could watch it, but because I think is it still on there? I don't know. I saved it, I think. Nick Rich says, the scatter chat makes John's response humorous. That's when Paul looks like you might find their way in early. Hint from Nick Rich. Apparently, he would like to see a little guest appearance come in his way. There, I guess. Teresa says, William, me either, but almost sorry to say dislike them, but more disrespect them. Darcy says, hi, hello, Darcy, good to see you. Midas Kevin says, want to get Mike riled, tell him his pillows are lumpy. Yeah, doesn't Hal has that one sound drop or whatever you call it? I think it's Mike Lindell, and he's like you're an asshole or something. Mr. Spock, howdy. Hey, Mr. Spock's still here. I didn't chase Mr. Spock away, apparently. So good for that. I'm glad to see that. Mitch Spock says, Andrew Petrie just talking to my son at the farm auction. Trying to get a meat cow for under 200. Mr. Spock out there just living like life on the farm. Living life on the farm. Got his chickens and a dozen cows. Anyhow, Andrew Petrie says, moo. Moo. Don't boo, moo. No. Let's see. Teresa says, my younger sister is against everyone, but her adult kids and hubby probably prefers a conservative person and politician. Feel sorry for my sister. She is so stressed and hateful. And that's another thing. I've never gotten this whole conservative thing. Conservative values. What the fuck is that? What the fuck are conservative values? It's just, I don't like all these like shorthand bullshit. Because then it becomes just meaningless. Stephen Sayre says people used to have presidential election watch parties. Does that still happen? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to a presidential watch party. But I think I do remember them happening. Like, maybe. Maybe I've heard of it. James Williams says it has nothing to do with party affiliation. There are decent Republicans, and Trump cut them out like they were a tumor. At 70, I have seen a lot of politicians come and go. Trump is a stain. And I know there are lots of sort of Republican leaders, let's say, Republican Party leaders that really probably can't wait for Trump to lose and probably go to prison and be done with them. But like I said, like I always say though, the Republican Party is still always going to be at its core about the same thing, whether it's Trump or Mitt Romney. I always use Romney as the sort of the anti-Trump, I guess. But it's always going to be about lowering taxes for the ultra rich and ultra rich companies and stripping away regulations. That's always going to be their core tenet. And so no matter who they get, I won't care for, you know. Apple 707 says the first president I voted for was John Kerry. I was so proud. My conservative parents, not so much. Well, that's great that you voted for Kerry. That was your first one. We always remember our first, don't we? My first was Jimmy Carter. Proudly. Teresa says, William, I agree. Sorry to have to say this. My sister needs to seek some kind of help for her anger and bitterness. Wow. Mrs. Spock, almost double my math is bad. Oh, I did kind of skip over that. It was about buying cows and shit, right? Rob4419 says we should all be a combo of all political traits because just one won't work or unite us. We should be a combo of all political traits. Well, like my dad always said, and like I said, you know, I'm pretty sure my dad voted for Humphrey, but then the next election, I'm pretty sure he voted for Nixon. And I don't really in between that and his death in 2012. I didn't really keep up with who my dad was voting for. I'm pretty sure though he had gone pretty much Republican, but my dad was like, this is back in probably early 70s when either Nixon was still president or maybe Ford was president. But I remember we were listening to the radio, a radio talk show, and people were complaining about taxes and about, the same stuff they complain about now, and about, entitlement programs, and there shouldn't be welfare, and there shouldn't be, and that Medicare and Medicaid's not going to, last, and all that kind of stuff. And my dad, I remember my dad just turned to me and said, "Hey, we are a big enough, rich enough country that we can do both." Because I guess the conversation on the radio was about, the taxes are too high and that we shouldn't have to pay for all these things. Like Medicare and Social Security and welfare. That back then they talked about welfare. And my dad just said, "Hey, look, we are a big enough and rich enough country. We can do both. We can help people out with Medicare and with welfare, and we can still have capitalism." My dad said that. My dad, the guy who, and he was a union guy too. So, but it kind of went back and forth between Democrats and Republicans. But he said, basically what he said is, we are a hybrid country. We can do both. We can have a social safety net, and we can still be a capitalist, have capitalism. And it's one of the things that I took from my dad, and I to this day I still agree. I still agree. William says, "I voted for McGovern, and that didn't work out too well. No, McGovern got smoked, but So Mike H repeating. I don't know why you repeat stuff, Mike H. It says you're too hardcore, TJ. You already said I was hardcore. I don't know why you're repeating it. I already addressed it. I mean, I already acknowledged it. It's not like I ignored you. Anyhow, whatever. Nick Rich says, "Piss on all things MAGA." Nick Rich says, "Love is the answer." So, as you're pissing on things, do it with love. That's the message I got from Nick Rich. Rob4419 says, "What's sad is the Trumpers around me don't live the Trump dream, but are always projecting their anger on others." Well, I keep hearing the same old thing, and I get this from passengers too. That inflation is so high, and grocery shopping is more expensive, and there's no jobs. There's no good jobs that pay good or whatever. That's what I keep hearing from passengers. Even though we're down to 2.8% inflation right now, unemployment is decades levels lows. Job creations are high. People are still complaining about inflation, and so I don't know if this is they're just repeating stuff that they hear from right-wing media, or if it's actually what they're feeling, and they just haven't seen it yet. I don't know. Darcy said in 2015, "Have a pic of MAGA at T rally with T-shirts saying, 'I would rather be a Russian than a Democrat.' That says it all." I remember stuff like that, and they still have that kind of weird shit going on with the maggots. They are willing to apparently destroy democracy, or I don't know, they love Russia more than they love their own country. It's weird. It's really weird. Mr. Spock updating us on his pigs and things going on at the farm. Thank you for that update. Steve Sayre says, Florida upset me with the Gore debacle back when. Absolutely. I remember screaming that we should have been storming the Capitol in 2000 because that was a travesty. That really was a steal. That was a real steal, not the shit that these fucking maggots claim. James Williams says, I was at some of the civil rights protests during the 60s. Nixon was always a racist. We are still dealing with his Southern strategy. Yep, absolutely. Rob 4419 also voted for McGovern. Oh my God, that's long ago. Roxanne says that is the MAGA way, referring to what Rob had said earlier, Rob 4419. About something. Jolie says, my dad is MAGA. It hurts my heart to say that there's something wrong at his core, but I've given my dad the facts and he doesn't care. His racism and misogyny have come to light. He laughs about it. Yeah, that must hurt because it's your dad and you love your dad and and then if he's racist and misogynistic, that's gotta hurt. And supporting Trump. And the thing about my dad was not a racist. My dad was not a misogynist. That's the thing about my dad. Why he would vote for Republicans is really perplexing. And plus, he was a union guy. My dad's a union guy. So, well, he was, and then he became a management guy. So, but for a long time, he was a union guy, and he was a union officer. Back in '72, when he voted for Nixon, if he did vote for Nixon, I'm not still 100% sure that he did. He might have just been fucking with me when he brought that pen back. But certainly late in life, he became a Republican. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was supporting Mitt Romney, and then previous to that, probably W. I don't even know if he voted for Reagan or not. I'm not sure if he voted, but seemed to like Reagan. So, but my dad wasn't a misogynist and a racist and all that. So I'm not sure what the appeal was, other than that. I don't get it. It's a mystery because my dad was the one that told me we're big enough to do both. We're a big enough country to do both, to have social programs and to be a capitalist country. So I don't know. It's very confusing. My dad was confusing, and my mom never talked about politics hardly at all. So. But I know my mom liked. I know she liked the Kennedys, and I think she liked Jimmy Carter, too. Dickford says, House said he's off Friday, but perhaps a long show tonight. Yeah, he was going to do... He might be coming on. I'm not sure when he's going to start. I think he's going to start early today, and then he's going to take a break for his family phone call day, and then he's going to come back on. So yeah, this might be a marathon day for Hal, by the way. And then I think you're right. I think he's going to be off tomorrow for something. See, I don't get what Andrew Petrie say, Jolie. So that in itself proves the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Good for you for being you. What do you mean? I don't think you understand that expression. If the apple didn't fall far from the tree, then that would mean that Jolie is a racist and a misogynist. Wouldn't it? Am I misunderstanding? I don't know. Rob 4419 says Rush was fired from all his jibs, his jobs, and then found hate. He found Bill Clinton, and he became vile. Yeah, Limbaugh is. If anyone deserves hell, him and Trump, right? Walter Bukarovich is here. Hey, Walter, good to see you. It says hi, late. Hi, it says late. Hi, Trucker John. Out today. Are you going to be on later? Well, that's the thing. Because I usually do the warm-up show. Maybe when Hal does his, maybe I will still do a 3 o'clock. Because I believe he's going to do his family phone time. So even if he comes on early, I don't even know if he's on now. If you guys want to check, I don't know how early he's going to come on, but he's going to stop to do the family phone time at 3 o'clock Pacific. So yeah, I'll come back on at 3. Thanks for asking, by the way. And we'll hang out we can hang out, and then go back over to Hal when he comes back on at 4 Pacific time. I'm just skipping down, kind of just reading some of the chats. Mr. Spock thinks Anthony Bourdain was murdered. I don't know, but kind of sad that he's dead. Jolie says, my dad laughs about Trump saying immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country and at women losing their right to bodily autonomy. There's a little more than just not being perfect at Mike H. Yeah, that's way more than just not being perfect. Yeah. Terrence Bunce is here. Hey, good to see Terrence. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Terrence says Steve Sayers wore my grunge attire after work attending a gathering of MAGAs was an invitation to our IT department. Okay. Hey, Don O'Leary. Good to see Don. Thanks for joining us today in Driver's Lounge. Don says, Trucker John, stop by to say hello and hit the like button. See you guys later. All right. You're probably gone already, so I'm sorry I didn't see this earlier. But thanks for stopping by, Don. Maybe next time you can stay a little longer and, mingle. But yeah, I think I should be coming back on at 3 for an hour. Pamela says, Nick Rich, I guess I wouldn't have to have a vote because my wallet stays empty. Mr. Spock, still going on with the chickens, and good for you, Mr. Spock. Good for you with the farm life. William says the poorest states are all red states, but they keep voting against their own interests. Yeah, and they're the takers. They take the most and give the least. Chad Bostic. Hey, there's Chad, another one of the resident trolls, I guess. Thanks for being here, Chad. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Chad's chiming in with inflation maybe only 2.8. Is it 2.8? Did it drop again? Last I heard it was 2.9, but hey, compared to a year ago or 2 years ago, but it's up 30% from 4 years ago. Oh, so you're saying it was even lower? You mean when the economy was crashing? There isn't such thing as having too low. Right now, at 2.8 or 2.9 or 3%, that's sort of like the wheelhouse. That's kind of where economists, they say that's a good spot to be in. And if inflation is too low, that's not good either. So it's not the lower, the better. There's sort of like this like I say, this wheelhouse of this 2.8, 2.9, 3, 3.1. That sort of is when the economy is rolling. The economy is going good. The economy is rolling along. when you have like zero inflation, that's not good. That means your economy is crashing. And that's what Trump was doing. He was crashing our economy 4 years ago. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Rob 4419, just the popular vote is all you need to know, and yet the Electoral College has the power. The GOP could never win the popular vote. And I really do hope that we someday will get rid of the Electoral College. We can, you know, what do you call it? Override it or whatever out of the Constitution. Nick Rich, no taxes, no infrastructure. Mr. Spock, going to be comical. The quails are in the transporting cage. Don't know how he's transporting them. Just lots of updates from the farm. Love it. I love it. I love it. Steve Sayers says the Democrats, the Democratic have fallen for the right's propaganda and call everyone Democrats. I don't know about that. Andrew Petrie says, I remember in 1996, our Prime Minister, Jean Chrétien, grabbed a protester by the throat that got too close. I loved his no shit attitude. Jean Chrétien. I don't even know if that's the right way of saying it or not. Nick Rich says, trading or just holding them? Oh, you guys are in a conversation about the livestock. Okay. Hey, Dude Man's here. Good to see Dude Man. Thank you for joining the Driver's Lounge and chatting with us. Good to see you. I don't know if I've ever seen you here before, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe and share button for me. If you would, that'd be awesome. Dude Man says, rest in peace, MAGA, 2016-2024. Laughing out loud, God is not with Trump. He turns from him in disgrace. Trump breaks nearly every single one of God's commandments every day. Yeah, that's for sure. The Ten Commandments, they want to put it in the schools, and their dear leader has probably broken, like I say, almost every one of them. Steve Sayers, I have to admit, I wanted Reagan's trickle-down theory to work for workers, and it has been proven to not work, and yet there are people that still believe that that's the way to go, and it's not. Susan McIntosh says trickle down was a con job. I call it trickle on. We are big enough for social programs and a strong military if rich pay their share of taxes. Absolutely, Susan. Absolutely. Mr. Spock says we should be humans first, and whatever second. We're all in this together. I'm rooting for you. Logic. Let's see. Susan says the rich are against social programs because they want to expand their wealth, and the rich just have a sickness with money addiction, and where no amount of money is ever good enough for them. And when you have an addiction to something, I think you need to take away whatever it is they're addicted to. That's what I think. Dude Man says, hey, John, thanks for delivering my goods across the country. You're welcome. Full disclosure, I haven't driven in a year and a half on a big rig. I think I'm pretty much retired from driving big rigs. But at some point, I did deliver stuff all over the country. Rob says, Rob 4419, remember when they spoke millions, then billions, and now trillions? So the money is there. How they spend it is the issue. The issue. That is a big issue. Now, Dude Man says, I can't vote for a woman as my president. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous. I don't know if you're being tongue in cheek. I don't know, but that's a ridiculous statement. Is that what the Republicans would say? I guess I don't know. Andrew Peters said Jolie John got that wrong. I was meaning that you're the polar opposite of your father. Yeah, but you didn't write that. You didn't specify that. Let's see. Mr. Spock, more on chickens and chicken coops. Robert Perez, get the money out of politics. I agree wholeheartedly. So now dude says women always clean up everyone's mess and keep households together all around the country. It's about time we had one as president too. So I think it must have been a typo. Oh, you said you can't wait to vote for a woman as president. No, it wasn't a typo. That was me, and now I think I'm turning red. That was me not reading the words right, or something. I don't know. What did I think you said? I think I said I can't. Somehow I totally messed that up. You said you can't wait to vote for a woman as president. That's my sentiment too. That's a good sentiment. That's a good statement. Somehow I screwed that up, and I apologize. And I'm down in the chat, so you're probably gonna tell me that I'm an idiot, and I am. So yeah, I can't wait either. And Kamala Harris is gonna be a great president. Hillary Clinton would have been a great president, but okay, that didn't happen. Kamala Harris is going to be an awesome president. And Jolie would like to remind everyone that Trucker John has channel memberships and super chats. And you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Or buy John a coffee over there. Buy me a coffee. Thank you, Jolie, for that reminder. Steve Sayre says, Kamala makes me feel like it's all going to be okay. Dude, man, nope, new guy here. Thanks for being here, dude, man. I absolutely am glad to see you here. Rob4419, seeing Hillary watching her husband showed her strength. She truly was robbed of the Oval Office. Or the F5. That's the code word, I guess. No, I know. Dude, man, all of them, no doubt. Mr. Spock needs a rooster. Keeping us informed on that farm life. Terrence Bunce says they love him because they, MAGAs, believe Trump somehow gives them the right to drop their inhibitions and be racist jerks. Uh-oh. You guys hear that? Is that picking up? Is the mic picking that up? Apparently we've got some work going on. If that's really loud, let me know. I don't know how much this mic picks up. I know it doesn't pick up the air conditioning. I don't know what's going on now. Somebody's cutting through something. There's always something going on here at this apartment with some kind of plumbing issues, pipe issues. If you guys can hear that, and if it's really irritating, let me know. Dude says, no, I admit I can't wait to vote for. That wasn't your fault. That was my fault. Because I didn't read it right. I think you wrote it right. I think my eyes didn't see it right. So anyhow, yeah, I'm the one that screwed that up, I think. Mr. Spock says the only thing that will work is socialism plus a lot more. I disagree. I don't think that's the only thing that's going to work. It's just your way or the highway. It's got to be socialism. No, fuck that bullshit. We can do both. It's actually been working out pretty good, I think. In the overall scheme of things, in the overall picture, I think we've actually been doing it pretty good. And I know it's slow and it's hard and it's arduous. We had to work through slavery. We had to work through, all of the racism and misogyny. Suffrage, getting women right to vote, all that kind of stuff. It's taken decades and decades and centuries, but still, overall, the overall big picture of things, I think we've done pretty good. We have a great foundation in the Constitution, and I don't know. I think that's the key, is the Constitution, and it's not socialism, and it's not capitalism by itself. I think we can have capitalistic economies, economic systems, as long as they're well regulated. And I think we can still have a good social safety net. I like the Democrats' approach, I think, of having a well-regulated capitalism for our economy and having our tax dollars go to good social programs. And really the only thing that's fucked that up is the Republicans. They're the ones that keep fucking it up. Andrew Petrie says, I'm writing a book. It's called 10 Ways to Fuck Up Before Breakfast. Rob4419, chat texting is a bit difficult. And there's that noise. Let me know if you guys hear the noise that I'm talking about. There's a noise going on. If you guys can hear it, let me know. Dude Man says, nope, they love Trump because they are just like him, but broke as a joke. The ones that really love Trump, yeah, they're, because I think there are different types of Republicans and Republican voters. And of course, there's the maggots. The maggots, they really do follow, and they're in the Trump bubble, and they just live and breathe off of everything he says. And he can do no wrong. There is something definitely wrong with those folks. Something very, very wrong with them. But then there's a more general Republican base that, like I said earlier, I think they don't really pay attention to it enough. And it's basically, I think, years and years and years of sort of, I don't know if you want to call it programming or just they came from a Republican family or from an area where everyone's Republican, and so that's just the habit. It's just I'm a Republican. I just vote for Republicans. It's kind of like when I say vote blue no matter who, and people say, well, you're just want people to be a sheep, and I've explained that before about what that really means, but it's kind of the same. Like for me, I vote for Democrats, but it's not. I don't vote for Democrats blindly. You know, I vote for Democrats because I believe the Democratic Party has the better platform, and they really do want to improve America, improve American people, are concerned about the working class people and middle class people and getting people out of poverty and into the middle class. I believe that's some of the basics of the Democratic Party. So, but the Republicans, a lot of people, I think they just vote Republicans because they're Republicans their whole life, and that's it. You know. Nick Rich says, I can only hear John talking. Okay, so hopefully there is some sort of a sawzall or some sort of equipment going off. Jackhammer, I don't know. I can hear it really loud, but if you're not really hearing it, then that's great. And I love this microphone even more. If it's only picking up the dulcet tones of my lovely voice, then I'm happy. Let's see, Mr. Spock, Forbidden Fruit. Talking about there. Oh, you guys are talking about weed now, I guess. Robert Perez, is there a Trucker John strain? That would be interesting. Nick Rich, we're not going back. Mr. Spock, laughing out loud. A Star Trek future is possible. It's only human ignorance that's preventing it. Logic rules. Robert Perez, I can't go back. Mr. Spock, agreed rules. Agreed rules. Wait, not agreed. Here I go again, not reading the text correctly. Miss Buck says, greed rules, and TJ continues to feed it. Good luck. I disagree with that. Greed rules. I think we can have capitalism, well-regulated capitalism. That's what keeps greed at bay. And I think you're unrealistic, and I think that you are very unrealistic, Mr. Spock. And you're a dreamer, and that's okay. It's okay to be a dreamer. That's what the whole John Lennon Imagine is about. It's about imagining and dreaming about this this sort of world that Mr. Spock is always wanting us to go to. And that's okay to dream about it, and it's okay to... But you can take things out of that we can apply today. And what I take out of it is, I think caring for others is more important, is the most important thing, Dude Man says, how someone can look at Trump and see a president is not normal and good, not this far along. Well, I do believe that Trump's support is shrinking. I believe his base is shrinking. And that's not the only thing that's shrinking. No. Can you guys hear that? It's totally so loud. I can't believe you guys can't hear it. I'm glad you can't hear it, but I mean, there's this heavy tool going off, and anyhow, it's distracting me a bit. But Man Mac, you might say Spock's a dreamer. He's not the only one. Dude Man, at minimum, I want a president that doesn't talk shit about our country while simultaneously propping up Putin and Xi. Right. Absolutely. Andrew Feature says, Mr. Spock, sometimes dreams do come true. Well, hey, look, we can barely fight off the maggots. You think we're going to go to this utopian, wet dream of no governments, no world government, and everyone just seems kumbaya and holds hands, and you really think that's going to happen overnight, or even within our lifetimes, and we're barely able to stave off the maggots? Dude says, John, I only hear you, man. Well, okay. I'm glad you guys aren't hearing the fucking power tool that's going off above me. Mr. Spock, it's only going to be free for all resources in the near future. Either Unify Earth or World War III, your choice. I'm just showing you the near future. It's quite disturbing. Yeah, well, whatever, dude. Rob 4419, helping Americans should be given a fight between parties. Hey, Diane Capabianco's here. Good to see Diane. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Good to see you. Pamela says, well, got to go do grandma duty. See y'all later. Well, thanks, Pamela, for being here. And I am going to go ahead and probably end the show here. It's been 2 hours. For a number of reasons. I've got some sort of power tool that's being operated, and it's distracting the fuck out of me, even though you guys can't hear it, and I'm glad you guys can't hear it. Also, I haven't had breakfast yet. My tummy is getting really growly, and that makes me get hangry. And, so I think we'll go ahead and put an end to this. But I want to thank you guys all for being here. You guys are awesome. Thanks for putting up with my grumpiness and with my cough and my sneeze and all that good stuff. And I'm planning on coming back at 3 3 p.m. And we'll do an hour show and hang out in between Hal. I think Hal's going to come on early, and I think he's going to come on afterwards. So we'll see you then. And I just want to say a quick hello to everybody. Trucker John didn't give me much time today, so that kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm a little bit bummed out about that, but overall, I feel okay, and I hope you guys feel okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and everything. And God knows there's loud noises going on, and I don't really like that either. But hopefully, I'll see you guys at 3. Maybe Trucker John will see to it that I get on a little bit more, instead of hogging the show up like he does. But yeah, all right, guys. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time, along with Trucker John and probably another person, another thing. I don't even know if he's a person, actually. Now that I think about it. Nah, I'm a tough cookie. What do you mean? Person. Fuck that person shit. I'm a fucking tough cookie. Yeah, you think I'm not? You wonder if I'm going to be around? Yeah, I'll be there. See you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Tough as hell. Tough as always. I'll be right there. At 3 p.m. Pacific time, I'll see you guys. So hope you guys come back. And I'll probably do the whole show. I'm just going to take over the whole goddamn show. I'm really sick and tired of all this mamby-pamby bullshit. So, yeah. I'll see you guys at 3. All right. Those guys chimed in. So come back at 3 p.m. Maybe we'll see some more Purple Beard, Paul the Purple Beard guy, and Tough Cookie. They pretty much guaranteed that they'll be around. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. My camera's almost down to 20% charge, so I should probably charge that up. And let's see what else is going on. I guess we're gonna have it's gonna be a great night at the DNC, I think. So we'll check that out. We're gonna watch that tonight, and man, vote for these guys. Harris Walls. Right here. I got him right here. Harris Walls. Let's vote for him. Make sure you're registered. Go to vote.org. Check your registration. Make sure it's all good to go. I want to thank all the new people. We got some new people in here. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. I hope you guys come back. The new people. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Let's share the show. Get more people in here. We can hang out and have a good time. And all right, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys in a few hours. Thanks for being here. You guys are awesome.
Can meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hostile la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should've stopped truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back and